This is Sally Cole with Story Hour Academy. This is our lesson about the letter W that says W. Get out a paper and pencil and let's get started. The W that says W looks like this. For a capital W, it starts at the top line, goes to the baseline, it comes up to the midline, back down to the baseline, and back up to the top line. There's the capital W that says W. Let's make 5 of these and say their name and sound as we go. Here's our second capital W that says W. Here's our third capital W that says W. Here's our fourth capital W that says W. And our fifth capital W that says W. The lowercase w looks almost the same, except it starts at the midline. Goes down to the baseline, back up to the midline, back down to the baseline, back up to the midline. Lowercase w that says W. Let's make 4 more of those. Lowercase w that says W. Lowercase w that says W. Lowercase w says W. And a lowercase w that says W. Let's look at a few words with the letter W in them. Do you ever weed the garden? Well, weed starts with the W that says W. Then you've got a double E for a long E vowel sound that says E. And you've got the D that says D. So W can come at the beginning of a word, like in weed. Then you've got a word like away. In away, the first letter is A. Then you've got the W that says W. And AY, a multi-letter vowel phonogram that says A. W, A. So W can come in the middle of a word. When English words end with a W, you need to know that the W is part of a multi-letter vowel phonogram. So let's look at a couple of those multi-letter vowel phonograms that end with W. There are 3 multi-letter vowel phonograms that end with a W. You've got AW, which makes one sound, ah, as in paw. You've got EW, which makes 2 sounds. It can say either ew, as in few, or O, as in so. And then you've got OW, which can also make 2 sounds. It can say ow, as in how, or O, as in snow. So you don't have to know those right now, because we are going to have a lesson about each of these multi-letter phonograms. The AW that says ah, the EW that says ew and O, and the OW that says ow and O. But for now, as we're learning the W that says W, I just want you to know that it's usually acting with the A, the E, or the O when you find it at the end of a word. You can also find the W in a multi-letter phonogram at the beginning of a word. And there's 2 of those phonograms. You've got the WR, where the W is silent, and this says like to write, is spelled W-R-I-T-E. And that, the W does not say W instead. It's silent, and it works together with the R to say I-T. Silent final E. And then the other one we've got is W. Whoops. I wasn't sure if that was going to be a capital or a lowercase. Let me erase that. There we go. WH can make two sounds. It can say W, like in what? What are you doing? And it can say H, like in who? Who are you? So moving on, like we usually do, we're going to review all these single sound consonants that we've learned so far, and then we are going to write a poem which uses a lot of today's letter, which is the W that says W. So here is our review. Up top here. You follow along with me on your own paper. We know the B that says B, the D that says D, the F that says F. We've got the H that says H, the J that says J, the K that says K, the L that says O, the M that says the N that says the P that says P, the Q that together with U says Qu, the R that says the T that says T, the V that says V, and today's letter, the W that says W. Now our poem is about this little guy right here, Wee Willie Winkie. So let's write out that title. Since it's a title, we're going to use initial caps on each of these words here. The W that says W, and then we've got a double E vowel phonogram that says E, wee, and then Willie. What does that start with? A W that says W, and then I. What consonant do you hear next? O. That would be the L that we know. Then the vowel sound E, which in this case is spelled I-E. Wee Willie Winkie. We've got our W that says W again. Our vowel here is I. To make ink, we need the N that says and the K that says K. And then we've got another E spelled I-E. Wee Willie Winkie. I'll read out the whole poem and then we'll write a couple lines of the poem. Wee Willie Winkie runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown, rapping at the windows, crying through the lock. Are the children in their beds? Now it's 8 o'clock. So it's a poem about bedtime. And it begins with this fellow's name. So again, we're going to use initial caps. W. E. Spelled just like the title. Wee Willie Winkie. W. Be sure you're writing along with me here. Willie. You don't have to change colors like I am, but the reason I do this with the colors is so that you can see how much you're learning. Because you know everything that's green. You've learned everything that's green. The word we're writing now, this is Winkie. W-I-N-K-I-E. W-E-N-K-E. Winkie. Runs through the town. So we've got the R that says This is a short U. We've got the N that says We've got the second sound of S that says Z. Runs through. Through starts with TH. We've talked about this before. TH says th. And then we've got the R that says And then we've got a really long phonogram. We'll learn this later. O-U-G-H. Says oo in this case. Runs through the. So here we've got our favorite phonogram, TH. Maybe not a favorite, it's a common phonogram, TH. With the E says the. Town. We know the T that says T. We talked today about the OW that says ow. And the N that says That's a comma. Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Did you hear a W that says W in there? Upstairs and down. Ooh, down. Down has a OW that says ow. So we would spell downstairs with a W, but we would not sound it as a pure W sound. Instead, it's an ow sound. So let's write that out. Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. Here we go. Capital U to begin this line. A P that says P. Upstairs, we've got the S that says S. T. We know the T that says T. We've got a R-controlled vowel sound here. Basically a long A and the R that says So we've got a P, S, T, A, air. Z. The second sound of S that says Z. And A-N-D, It's a short A. Our N that says Our D that says D. Downstairs, our D that says D. Our O-W phonogram that says ow. Our N that says We're going to spell stairs the same way over here that we spelled it over here. S. The T that says T. that says A. The R that says and the S that says Z. Upstairs and downstairs in his nightgown. So, do you hear a W that says W in there? No, I don't either, but let's write it out anyway and then we'll end there. So, we'll say in. I is a short I. N. We know that one. It's our N that says N. His. That's our H that says H. We've got another short I that says I. We've got our second sound of S that says Z. And then we've got nightgown. We know the N that says N. Then there's a fun phonogram. 3 letters. IGH says I. We've got a T that says T. A G. Nightgown. G. Okay. That is the hard sound of G. And then we've got our OW phonogram that we talked about today that says ow. And we've got the N that says N. Now I'm going to use red. I'm going to circle these multi-letter phonograms. OW in downstairs. OW in nightgown. And that's all our W's. Let's read it out. We, Willie Winkie. That's the name of the poem. And these are the first 2 lines of the poem. We, Willie Winkie, runs through the town, upstairs and downstairs, in his nightgown. Good job. Give yourself a big pat on the back. And then read the wake-up story. This poem was about going to bed, but the story that goes with this lesson that you should have someone read to you is about waking up. I hope you enjoy it, and see you next time.